Hi.
It is so nice to meet you. This series is pretty amazing. I couldn't stop watching it, and I don't know why, but as soon as I saw you, I think it was in the second episode, I immediately thought and started to remember this podcast I saw you on. I think it was on Conan, where you two were talking about AI and
Oh God.
technology.
Yep.
And how it's evolving and how it's in human nature to create these tools that are for good, but eventually it's human nature to do something destructive with it. And I just couldn't stop thinking about this series and how if it were today or AI and technology would maybe help or hinder God forbid, an assassination attempt. I just wanted to get your insights on that.
Well, it would be interesting. Let's take this case for an example. John Wilkes
Hmm.
Booth. He wasn't just yes. He wanted to kill Abraham Lincoln. He also wanted to reignite the Civil War. So now I don't know how adept him or anyone else would have been with AI if they had it, but would they have used that as a propaganda tool as a way to stir people up? I mean, in a weird way, AI is an artificial reality. You're trying to alter the reality that you know, and John Wilkes Booth kind of did that in the most primitive way he knew how, which is he literally altered reality by putting a bullet in a president's head. To in his mind, this will change everyone's perception of the reality that they see, and maybe they will. I mean, that's why he was running to the South, basically. I know I'm getting a little philosophical with this, but you know,
I love it.
I think AI is like any invention. I forgot who said this, but every invention has the practical use, the unintended good use, and the unintended accidental use. So, like with an axe, let's say you invent an axe. Well, I can chop down a tree to build a fire and warm myself. I can also drop the axe and cut my foot off, or I can use the axe to murder someone. So I think everything has that potential in it, you know?
That reminds me of another thing you said. I think maybe it was the same podcast or another. I'm sorry, I hear a lot of podcasts, and more so if you're in them. Something that you said about how having limits, impulses or like moves other things forward because it makes you, it obligates you to think of other ways to do stuff. And I was
Yes.
thinking that in this series everything is so you can't help but think how limited everything was, like communications, transportation, everything moved so slowly. But if it weren't for this happening, then other things wouldn't have happened with other presidents or other
Yeah.
assassinations or other.
Sometimes it takes horrible things to then bring us to a benefit because we have to experience how horrible they are. You know, the murder of Kitty
Exactly.
Genovese is why we have 911, and the assassination of President Lincoln is why we have the modern Secret Service as we know it today. But sometimes it takes a disaster like that. Sometimes your car has to catch on fire and be on fire on the freeway, not moving, for you to go, I should take this to the garage and get it fixed. And
Or
that's
sometimes a kid has to go through the windshield to invent seatbelts.
Oh God, yes. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I consider you such an actor with such a wide range of talent. I mean, you're never afraid to speak on social matters in your stand-up or any comedy stuff that you do. So how do you think that's helped you in this series and this character?
Well, especially in terms of Manhunt, it's so fascinating to watch it and see how all the ways it parallels what we're going through today. And a lot of times, what we are, especially as comedians, what we talk about in terms of commenting on politics or commenting on society, which at the time seems like jokes or at the time seems like frustrations, ends up, you realize, oh, these were warnings. And so, in a weird way, this show is it's both a warning, but it's also kind of soothing because it tells you we've been here before. We're going to be here again. History is cyclical. We've been this close to the edge, and we managed to bring ourselves back. Maybe we'll manage to bring ourselves back again from the edge we're on now.
Thank you so much. I love hearing you. I'm gonna continue hearing podcasts, every podcast where you're in. So
Oh my God! Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
so nice talking to you.